So tell me about like first question I will ask you is like what is the difference that you see in like pre-college and now when you are in college? You are in second year, right? So what is the main difference that you are seeing?
So basically, pre-college, we were just totally focused on a single exam. You can say JEE, Joint Entrance Exam, right? We were preparing for JEE Mains, JEE Advanced. And
Right.
after that, when you get into college, the world of opportunities open for you, right? You can explore a lot of things apart from studies, like freelancing. You can do a lot of things like, even for me, the thing is like coding is a daily part, you can say a daily part of my life. And second one is content creation, doing freelancing stuff and other things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how it changed for me.
Yeah, yeah,
But it depends from person to person. Some people are actually not liking to be at home,
yeah.
right? Because of course they are missing the college life.
Yes.
Whereas some people who are actually benefiting from it, they have started, you can say, new ventures. You can say they are starting up their own companies
Mm-hmm.
only digitally, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's depends from person to person.
Yeah, yeah. And also like since your classes are now online, right? So how you are dealing with that, and like what are the first part will be what are the issues that you are having, and second part how you are solving those issues, or like is there anyone, or what are the courses that you are taking, means like how you are effectively handling those issues while being at home, and again like without harming or affecting your studying part or learning part. So can you please tell me about that?
The major issue we have is college studies. Like coping up with a college is pretty hard if we are doing it online, right? There is not a perfect schedule. Uh, you can say that home is a bit of leisure, whereas when you go into a physical college, you sit on benches, professors come there, you learn, and that's how it goes. But in online system, everything is totally upside down. Like you don't have a fixed time to lunch, right? There is a class at like 2:30 when there is a time for lunch. So yeah, but the basic thing is like we have to be flexible. We have to actually welcome the changes. And I just attend my classes regularly, and professors, I just learn whatever I could. And secondly, I basically rely on online material more, YouTube, Udemy. Then yeah, basically for, you can say, for future preparation, I'm learning more into, you can say, data structures, algorithms, open source, exploring a little bit, and yeah. So, and on college studies, it's just pretty simple. We have YouTube channels for every subject right now.
Right.
So yeah, it's easy to study.
Yeah, yeah. I think currently like there is like huge, what you can say that content creation is like has been like exploded. So earlier it was also there, but now I can see that there are a lot of content creators who are putting out content. Even I started this podcast like two months back because I was thinking that how I can help college going students, and they should not make any mistakes that I or you or anyone who is making, right? So we should learn from others mistakes as well. So that is my thought behind this channel. Like I know already there are already great content creators who are creating, and like all the data structures and all, so I'm not currently focusing on that. Maybe in future, but yeah, currently I'm just trying to create an awareness, like how you can utilize your college time, or how you can be productive, or how you can learn things, not just going in rat race like JE what we used to do there, right? So even if we don't like it, we are going for preparations, and we are like putting our efforts, and when we don't get what we want, then we feel very bad, or some people also go in depression and all. So the situation is not like that now, because now things have changed, everything is there online, you can learn anything, you can explore things. So yeah, I think in that regard it's great. But what I would suggest that people should, or students should start exploring things in college, because this is the time I would say so. Since I am working currently, so I do not get time to do very various things, right? But in college you have that time, so you can explore things and do it. One more thing I would like to ask, like, so since you are facing these issues, like you are not in college and your interactions are also not very like what it used to be, right? So you are not interacting with your seniors, but in college you would be interacting in your seniors. So I would say that LinkedIn is a great platform to be, right, where you can make contacts and connections and learn from people's experiences. You can share your own experiences, and I think you have been doing that quite well. And like I saw your post and I was really intrigued by some of your thoughts. So like how one can effectively use LinkedIn. I asked this question to like every guest on my podcast because I get to learn different perspectives of using LinkedIn and how they are helping, so that people can understand that LinkedIn is a great way to showcase your talent or like what you are. So I would like your thoughts on that.
Yeah. So you can say before 2019 or 2020, people were considering LinkedIn as a job search platform, right?
Right.
They can only get jobs from there. But LinkedIn is not only a job search platform. They also have, you can say, organic growth, organic algorithm, where it pushes the creators. For example, recently LinkedIn introduced creator mode, right? It means they need creators to hook up public on their platform, right?
Right.
A job search platform is not successful if it doesn't give you dopamine hits. That's simple.
Yeah.
People need dopamine hits every day. So you can either give dopamine hits by giving out knowledge or giving out crap, right? For example, there are people who would like to scroll Instagram, and there are people who are addicted to LinkedIn as well. They just like to scroll LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So it's better if you start scrolling LinkedIn, you will get different perspectives. And now coming to the point that how you can leverage your LinkedIn brand or whatever the content game you play. So basically, first we have to look what audience I have, right? I have students in my audience, I have working professionals, I have software engineers, I have marketing guys, or I have some freelancer network. Then after figuring out the audience, you have to figure out what value you can provide, right? If I have, you can say, students in my following, so I will share my experiences, my learnings of which are related to student base. For example, if I am marketing guys in my network, so I will share marketing tips with them. I will share content related to marketing, but my content is pretty much specific or modeled towards startups only. Like I write a lot about startups, I write a lot about general stuff as well, but mostly startups. So why startups? First of all, because startups actually create jobs, right? You can see right now,
Yeah.
Swiggy is like hiring aggressively these days. Bharat Pay is also doing the same. Bharat Pay was in news because they were giving BMW bikes, Dubai trips, right? So yeah, that's how startups are generating new opportunities, and you grow more at startups, right? You handle tech stack on your own. You have to just learn from scratch and make a product which is scalable to, you can say, millions of people, right? In India, it is millions of people. So yeah, that's why I focus more on startups, so that I can induce a feeling of entrepreneurship in students, right? They should understand how startups work, how they can work in startup. I am working in this startup ecosystem for 1 year now, right? And I have learned a lot from people who are co-founder of some big companies. I have met various people who have made millions out of startups. So yeah, I'm very well aware how they make money and how you can run a startup basically. So yeah, that's what I share with my you can say audience, which is
Yeah.
mostly students and software engineers.
Right.
So yeah, that's how you just provide value to people and people will connect with you. So yeah, that's how you leverage on LinkedIn.
Time and thinking, right? All those things you have to be very thoughtful in writing also, that so that like it should be easy to read, so that it reaches to like all the people or many people. So how this journey, how this process started?
Okay, so it started in December. I was working with few startups as a content writer. You can say I made their website content. I made the, you can say, pitch decks, which they pitch in front of VCs. So I was very well aware how to write professional content and how it works. So someone, one of my college senior recommended me to actually join LinkedIn and show my skill there so that I can connect with more people and I will get more opportunities eventually, right? So he was like, you should post on LinkedIn more. And I started posting on the, you can say in the last week of December. And now it has been 6 to 7 weeks. I have, you can say 18 to 19,000 followers. And actually it more helps me in getting clients, freelancing clients. I get a lot of exposure. I get to meet people like you as well, right?
Yeah.
It's just because of LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it works for me. So I started in December and I am posting content regularly, at least 4 to 5 times a week. So yeah,
Yeah.
I stay connected with the audience and work.
Yeah.
Depends on content. Content is researched. In my case, my content is not researched a lot because I actually read about startups every day. So it's just like it's my daily routine to read about startups and work in that ecosystem. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much simple for me because I don't have to push too much hard work in researching for the content. So yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. And also, like as you said, freelancing, right? You get opportunities on LinkedIn. So I would like to know, your journey in that aspect, because how first part would be like how you got into freelancing, and can you give some tips to the audience so that if they want to start freelancing, they can do. And second, how you can get clients through LinkedIn. So yeah, those two things.
So coming to the point that how I started with freelancing, right? Freelancing I started when I was, you can say, in March or April, right? It's pretty recent. But if you say not on LinkedIn, I was in freelancing area for like you can say for now 14 to 15 months.
Okay.
So yeah, I was quite experienced in getting clients, but most of the clients were actually referral based. People referred me to some client and they gave me. So someone actually, my senior recommended me to join LinkedIn and so that I can get exposure. So I just posted my content on LinkedIn every day, and there are many people who are actually looking for content creators because
Oh,
content is the new thing. Content
right.
connects people basically and builds your audience, and you can sell your product more easily.
Yeah.
So actually, so they all want content creators. So many people approach me and they are like, "Ki, this how we will pay you, and you have to work for, you can say, 10 to 15 days with us for next 10 to 15 days." So I was like, okay, great. So I started with very low paying clients, which paid me, you can say, 250 to 300 per article, right? And it took me 4 to 5 hours to write an article, research about them. I have written about almost everything you can imagine. I have written about blockchain, big data, system design, the things which are not college junior should know, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, while researching for that content, I came to know about how blockchain works, how big data works, how you can say machine learning is working. So yeah, that's how I explored a lot.
Yeah.
So it was a win-win situation for me. Then I started to get signed under some companies. Like I have been working with big business for 4 months now, and there are some other companies as well for which I work. And so yeah, now I'm signed under companies. I don't actually work per article now. So yeah. And LinkedIn played a very important role because all of my companies are actually from LinkedIn only. So yeah, LinkedIn has has the best organic reach if you want to grow.
So how you think that content is going to be, like how effective it is going to be in communication, in communicating with the people?
Yeah. Right now, we can see a lot of companies which are totally dependent on content, right?
Yeah.
Be it TikTok, Instagram now as well, because Instagram reels are producing a good, you can say, engagement these days. Even YouTube is totally based on content. Now, LinkedIn is also getting into that mode because it is actually pushing creators because creators attach audience with the platform because people actually open LinkedIn to read posts, not to search a job right now.
Right.
So most of the people are like, "Ki, we have to search jobs as well, but yeah, they like to read content as well. So LinkedIn also needs content. So yeah, for coming to the part that how you can research for content or how I work before posting anything. So number one, it is like ki, if this product is actually whatever I'm writing, is it actually adding some value to people? If they are reading it, it is just a time waste for them, or they are actually learning something from it, or I actually introduced something to them. So first of all, I look for that topic, and then actually I read a lot about these days about startups, technologies. You can say the new things happening in India or overall world, right? So because I read a lot, so yeah, I have a lot of topics in my mind every day. So
Yeah.
I just pick a topic from them and I just explain it to public because okay, first of all, people should actually digest it easily. If it is hard to read or if it is difficult for them to understand, it is of no use, right?
Right.
So I just revise it 3 to 4 times to make it as easy as possible for them to use as simple words as I can. So yeah, so that's how I produce the content piece. And for freelancing, the content is a bit different.
Yes.
For example, someone asked me to write about Bitcoin, right? I will open 5 websites, read about Bitcoin, how it is working, what is the technology it is based on, what is the future of Bitcoin, what experts say, right? And then I will compile all the resources in one thing and explain it in pretty simple words.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I work on freelancing clients. And for my personal thing, it's more like yeah, I read those topics every day and write about it.
Now moving on to like as you said, you have like a lot of worked with a lot of startups. So what do you think, like as we already know, the startup culture is growing in India quite fast, and like various companies like got the unicorn, uh, like were unicorn, right, in April or May itself. And now
Yeah.
one of the great startups that we have is Cred, Zomato, Swiggy. All these are quite great startups, right? So what is your thought on the startup culture, and how people should get the that mindset, entrepreneurial mindset, so that like we have more startup culture in our country? Yeah.
Yeah. So coming to the point, which is like you can say existing startup culture, right? We have many startups which are actually you can see on every uh, wherever you go, you can see those startups. For
Yeah.
example, it is Paytm. You can see it in every shop. There is Zomato. Everyone is using Zomato these days. Swiggy as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how. For example, while booking a cab, we are using Ola or Uber, right? Startups are all around us, right? But now coming to the point, like how will people get attracted to it? Startup culture is new for India, right? They don't know if it works or not because people are actually thinking that startups burn cash. They just you can say spend
Right.
money, 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 and they are always in losses.
Right.
But that's not how it works. Amazon was in loss for many years, but right now it is one of the top companies in the world, right?
Right.
Facebook was in loss for many years.
Yeah.
Google was in loss for many years. Because when you start, you have to gather audience. People should actually use your product. In order to use your product, you have to spend a lot on marketing campaigns. You have to give them a lot of offers, which
Right.
might cause some losses as well. But initially, when you gather a lot of audience, when people are using your apps in millions, right? So you get easy, right? You don't have to advertise that much. You don't have to put so much of offer so that to attract audience. So
Yeah.
people will use it eventually. Just like we don't need any offer to use Google, right? Uh, we don't need any offer. We don't need any offer to use Amazon. We don't need any offer to use Instagram. So yeah, that's how it works. But
Yeah.
this is new in India. People are still not aware how it works because they are not actually researching about startups every day. Because it is my work, so yeah, I just every time tell people that it is totally normal if they are losing money because that's how they grow.
Yeah.
They gather audience by spending money. Coming to the point at how entrepreneurship culture can be developed in students is by making them aware how they can actually be so successful by following entrepreneurship. Uh, okay, not all startups are unicorns, not all startups are too famous, right? But there are startups like, how can I say, there was a simple startup who was, you can say, connecting one app to other, and there were a collection of apps in just single app. That the founder of the app was my, you can say, I know him personally. So he told me that he exited that startup with millions in hand. Like he exited startup with 7 or 8 millions in hand. So I was like, okay, that startup was not even famous. Someone bought it from him. So yeah, that was like 7 to 8 million exit. When you are in a regular job, you can't earn 7 to 8 millions in at the age of 35 or 40. Right? you might earn it by spending, or you can say by investing in some real estate or gold or even mutual funds, but you can't earn it directly a one-time transaction. uh, Similar is with Kunal Shah. Kunal Shah has one of the best, you can say, exits from free charge. Now
Yeah,
he is starting cred. So free charge, after that exit from free charge, he could have easily live his life in US, a leisure life actually.
yeah,
He
yeah,
was a millionaire.
yeah,
So, but he started cred. He started again into that hustle culture. He again wanted to provide opportunities to people, make a change in India. So yeah, the basic motivation is to actually uplift our country basically, right?
yeah,
The more companies we have, why we use US products more, why we have Google from USA, why we have, you can say, Microsoft from USA even, right? But why don't we have Indian companies which are working in USA? Why
yeah.
US people doesn't order from Zomato? Like that, yeah. Similar is Oyo. Oyo is actually expanding in Europe,
Right.
in USA as well, Las Vegas as well.
Yeah,
So Oyo is actually expanding a lot in America as well, Europe. So yeah, that's a good news for us because Indian companies are being recognized by foreign people.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how the culture is growing. But you will see many people actually joining startups these days because startups are paying hefty money to people.
Yeah,
Uh, you can say right now there are some startups which are even paying more than France, right? They are just paying unbelievable. So
yeah.
that my sign.
Yeah,
Uh,
I saw your post regarding that one of your friends was calling or something, someone you knew called you that he was an entrepreneur and he earns in millions and he was not being respected. So that culture
yeah,
needs to be, eradicated. So can you share that wonderful conversation with the audience? Yeah,
yeah. So I met that person through client. He's a famous realtor in Delhi, right? He works in real estate. He also invests in crypto, mutual fund. We have so many things at such a, you can say, young age of 25, 26.
yeah,
He's doing great. When I started talking with him, we were like, okay, how you work and this. So I was like, yeah, you're pretty much respected in your family. You are actually living your life. So he told me that no, that's not the case. My family, my family, or even my own parents don't respect me because of that.
yeah,
Because they think that government job is way, way, way better than
yeah, yeah,
starting something of your own. Because government job have security, you can lose this money or something like that. But yeah, so that conversation actually gave me a lot of insights that he actually calculated that if a government employee worked at 40,000 for this much years, he still can't earn that much money which I have earned at age of 25. But okay, it's not all about money. Some people are actually passionate to work for government. Like
yeah.
there are many IS who are making a change in society. There are many
Correct.
police officers, army people, right?
Right.
But still, if you just are joining government job for job security, then you should give other things a try at least first, because job security will be always there. You can always apply for government jobs; they are still there. So first, try to explore other things as well, rather than sticking to just one thing. Now, he was actually. So I am always looking to interact with people, right? Because I learn a lot from people rather than books or news articles.
Yeah.
So people always come with new perspectives, with fresh perspectives. So he told me one thing, that if you want to earn money, you don't have to rely on job, because there will be some time when you will realize that you can earn even more than a job. Uh, okay, and I was shocked to know because he was working at a big MNC before, which is paying, you can say, like 1 lakh plus salary. Then he started something of his own, investment and other things. Then crypto. Basically, he was the major thing which he started was from Bitcoin. Bitcoin suddenly was like on the rocket, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Bitcoin was in 2015. Bitcoin was very cheap. Right now, it was on the peak. So people were like, okay, he cashed in all his Bitcoin, bought some flats, then sold them in Gurgaon, right? So yeah, he was generating income through that. But after he realized that he can do it even more because he was making a network. So yeah, that's how he began his journey, and he guided me to as well. But yeah, so that was great. So, but I love to listen to people. I love to watch a lot of podcasts, be it Kunal Shah ones or the others.
Yeah.
For example, Ranveer have already hosted founder of Zerodha, founder of
Yeah.
Oyo, founder
Oh,
of
yeah.
you
Ritesh
can
with,
see,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, Ritesh Agarwal, right? So yeah, I'm like always looking forward to learn from people because
Yeah.
they have lot more experience.
So, like as you said, so do you like learn from books mostly, or do you read books, or you just go for podcast and just learn from people directly? Do you read books?
Yeah, since past year I've been reading books continuously, right? At least for 20 minutes or 25 minutes, I read a book every day because okay, that keeps me in touch and that actually gives me a okay, I have a notebook and I have a book. I read 2 to 3 pages, then I write in my notebook what I have learned from them. Then I write an example where in life I can actually practically implement that.
Right.
So when you think that where you can implement this book, you will actually get a new perspective. For
Right.
example, while buying a house, Rich Dad Poor Dad says in book Rich Dad Poor Dad, the author says that when you are buying a house, it is not an asset; it is a liability. You
Right.
can buy a cheaper house. Buying a big luxurious house is not even uh, you can say a plus point for you. So yeah, actually thought about it. If I lived in this flat, if I lived in this house, will it even affect my quality of life? Then, so yeah, just it's like random things, random examples coming to my mind. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I implement books. And in podcast, I actually forget podcast easily because they are audio, right? They come
Yeah.
into
Right.
mind, and you just hardly remember few lines. For example, in last podcast of Kunal Shah, he told a very great line. Uh, the people cribbing about work culture, either work life balance is either they have a shitty work or they have shitty life, right? The
Yeah.
people who don't have a good life or good work are cribbing about it. So yeah, that was a line that actually hooked my brain, and I was like, yeah, he's right. People don't even like their work, so yeah, they crib about work life balance.
Right.
So yeah, that's how I remember podcasts. But yeah, I watch podcasts again and again and again and again, few of them, so that I can return most of it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
how I
So
learn.
yeah, I think you can read as many books, you can listen to as many as podcasts, but if you don't implement, it is of no value, right? So that's what I also try to do. That even if I am reading something, or if I am listening to a podcast, I try to actually think. And I also am a reader. Like, I also don't like to listen podcast that much. I like to read and just make notes and highlights. So I'm that kind of person. But yeah, even if you are reading, you have to implement all those things in your life. So that way it will help you. Otherwise, it is of no use. Like, it's all time wasted if you are not implementing into your life. Like, I would ask you to now, like, say some parting words to the audience, that especially to college going students who are new, who are not able to go to college and who are facing such issues. So what are your thoughts on that, and how they can make best of use of the time that they are in, and how can they productive, how they can learn, uh, all those things. Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, the people who are listening me, you should not be sad if you're not able to get to college. Like if you're in your first or second year, you have still have 2 to 3 years to live your college life.
Yeah.
So first of all, try to explore as much as you can online, especially LinkedIn help a lot actually. You can meet new people, you can meet people from different genres, right? I've interacted with software engineers, marketing guys, content creators, real estate guys even. So yeah, you can interact with lot of people. So make best use of that because after getting into college, you just get busy in your college life and placement preparation, right? So you are always doing coding, 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 or you are either going to college. So yeah, that's the right time. And secondly, you can also earn money online. So if you are a freelancer, it is the best time to earn money. You can work 7 to 8 hours every day, and then also balance your college life with that. It's not that difficult if you are able to do it, of course. So yeah, you just have to be happy and just be able to utilize this opportunity because it's not easy to stay at home. I know there are some problems you are missing college life,
Yeah.
but yeah, what we can do, of course, that's not in our hands.
Yeah.
So just utilize the opportunity you have.
Yeah, you have to make good use of what you have at your hand. Try to become better each day. So even if you're coding, you can learn some other things as well which you are passionate about, because in college you will not get so much of time that you are getting at your home now, right? So these are the times for exploration, learning new things. You can there are a lot of good content creators out there. You can learn from them. You can take some other courses, as Aniket does. He's a great content creator. He writes very well. So he's following one of his passions and turning it into a profit, right? He's doing freelancing with his specific skill. So you can leverage those, like if you have any skill, either you, as a programmer, as a coder, as a graphic designer, anything you can choose that you are interested in, and you can, do wonderful things. So yeah, thanks Aniket, thanks for being here on the podcast. It was great talking to you, yeah, with all your
Yeah,
insights
it's
and
my
all.
pleasure. It's my pleasure to be here, and thanks a lot
Yeah,
for inviting me. Right.
yeah.
Uh, so